Behind me, I have this beautiful third gen Cummins 2005 5.9 common rail. And today, my brother has this bright idea to interior swap it, which I'm all for because Dodge interiors are horrible. Minus one addition of them, and that is the all black wood grain interior. Right now, it has a cloth interior with black third gen wood grain door panels on it. He swapped the door panels about 4 months ago because he had the dream to get this whole interior swapped eventually. And today's the day. We already gathered basically all of the black trim pieces for it. Found those at a local junkyard. That was like probably the best part of the day yesterday, was finding all these pieces for his truck. He also found the rear seats. Now, finding seats in perfect condition for these trucks is not the easiest thing. Second gens always have destroyed front seats. So if you have a perfect set of black leather second gen seats, you literally have gold. Third gens too, I guess now. I haven't been big into third gens at all until recently, about the last month. And I'm starting to realize that it is harder to find third gen parts versus second gen parts. He has the rear black leather seats. He has all the trim pieces. He already has door panels on the truck. He also got black carpet for it. He has everything minus the front seats to complete this truck. Well, we have parts laying everywhere around the shop, and he said he might as well get all of this stuff out now, get everything swapped in that he has, and we can eliminate a lot of the parts pile. When the interior comes out of it, what is this called? Sound detonating material he bought for it. So he's going to basically line the whole entire interior as much as he can on the floor. He might do behind the doors eventually once we get some other stuff done, paint the truck, put this all inside the doors to sound detonate. As you guys probably know, the Cummins is a very, very loud motor. And you can hear these things anywhere you're at. When he flies past the house at nighttime, I know it's him. Hell, even coming to the shop, I need to film it one day. There's a road about a mile to the east of us. If I'm standing right here and no one's in the shop with me and it's quiet, I can hear him clear as day. It sounds like a helicopter down that road. Then he hits the Jake brake. I don't know how he does that. If he downshifts, and it sounds like a literal semi going down the street. We are going to get the sub box out, obviously, from Infinite Customs. This sound system sounds amazing. Take the seats out of it, get the center console out of it that he built, get the carpet out of it. All of these trim pieces will be getting removed. Only thing he will need once all of this stuff is out and the new stuff is in is to swap it out for black seat belts, but he wants to get all custom color seat belts eventually for the truck, so we didn't grab those from the junkyard. Up here, he already has a black wrap center console inside of it, center console lid. I already said he has the black door panels. Don't mind the mud. There was a kid right by our house who had gotten his truck stuck one night, and Ethan went and saved the day. Well, Ethan also buried his truck with the windows down, and now there's mud all over the door panel, all over the dash, and all over the trim. So we're going to start off with getting the back seat out of the truck, then we'll get the sub box out of it, get the front seats out, carpet out, start disassembling all of these seat belts, all the trim pieces, and we'll be one step closer to getting this thing to a full black leather swap, because the black looks a lot better than whatever this color is. What do you think, cameraman? What color is that? Light tan, dark gray mix. And I have a big thing for all black interiors, and I'm hyped to see this one done. As you guys were just watching, my brother has been very hard at work at getting his interior swapped. And he now has everything out of the inside, the carpet's out, all the trim panels are off. And he is now working on getting all of the sound detonating material inside of the truck. Think that's gonna take a little longer than expected?
Yeah.
His plan is right now to get the whole entire floor done on it. Then he's going to see if he has enough of the sound detonating material to do the back of the cab. And then he's going to go up as far as he can underneath the dash. And I would say most of the sound comes from like this area, because your exhaust runs through right here and your motor is up front. So the more sound deadening he can get on the front of the cab, probably the better it would be. But I'm sure with the sound detonating back here, it'll definitely keep the sound down of the exhaust, because like I was saying, this thing is so loud, it's obnoxious. He is working on getting all of this done, and he's going to get all the sound detonating on the floor, and I cannot wait to see how this turns out. Now you guys see why I took my whole interior of my cab apart. I'm going to show you guys why I completely stripped my cab all the way out for my third gen. Most people, when they paint vehicles or repaint their vehicle, they don't go to this extent, which I understand. It is a lot of work. I mean, we literally have a bare shell now. Like, this is how it came off the factory assembly line and then is assembled. But I don't want the floor of my truck to be all white after I paint the truck. I want it to be the color of the truck. And eventually when he paints this truck, he is probably gonna go with red again, he was saying. So the good thing is the floor is already red underneath it, and it's already gonna be sound deadening. We're gonna keep working on getting all of the sound deadening on the floor, and then we'll get into getting the carpet back into this truck. And I'm excited to see how this sound deadening stuff will change the driving experience of this truck, because that cab is getting it no matter what. What you guys just watched is my brother got his whole entire interior all the way done inside of his third gen, minus the 2 front seats. So the only thing he has left to do is obviously get the 2 front seats and get the black dash for it. And this thing looks a lot better, and having the leather seats is a huge plus. And these things are like so comfortable. It's actually sick. It's got all black panels now. You kind of forgot
That's right.
the screw right there. But yeah, once you get the black leather seats inside here and you get the dash, it's like gonna be a lot darker at nighttime. You can probably already tell a difference. We have one project that I did to my cabin chassis, and obviously being the big brother, little brother always wants to do what I do. So we went ahead and got a new part for his truck, because obviously he wants all the boost as well, just like we all do inside of our diesel truck. We have an intercooler inside of here from SPE for this truck. Now, I installed one of these on my cabin chassis, and it made a big difference. And the size comparison from this one to the stock one is like double. Like, this thing is massive. So inside of here, we have obviously the brand new intercooler, and that is going to bolt in to there. So we have to pop off the AC condenser really quick, move that out of the way, take the bolts off of the intercooler boot themselves, the bolts off of the mount to the top of the core support, and then really it's just freestyling from there on out. Pop that intercooler out, we'll bolt that beautiful SPE one inside of it. Instead of him being 25% complete on a 1200 horsepower build, he'll be about 30% complete. So, oh, wrong size. Pop these off. Oh, that fell. Take this, I'm going to lift it up and somehow just kind of move it out of the way for now. You don't have to pull this all the way off. Some people might prefer to, but why recharge the AC when it's already charged? You can just kick it out of the way. Some 10 millimeters, run these things right here. That releases the intercooler off of the core support. And then you just gotta figure out what size these are. I believe that they're 11 millimeters. Yep. Old trusty Milwaukee right angle impact. This works perfect for taking the intercoolers off these trucks. Easy as that. 30 seconds. Your stock intercooler's off your truck. Now, all we have to do to get this one to install is take the bushings off of that one, slap them onto here, and slide it in and bolt it back on. For comparison, here's our stock intercooler, which honestly looks like it's bent. And then here's our new intercooler. Sorry to tell the difference. This one's a little bit taller, a lot wider, and has a way bigger inlet on this side for you to hook up your boost tube to. And overall, that one's junk. This is the only intercooler you should run on these trucks. We got the intercooler boots onto it. Now we just have to get the boots back onto the tubes. That one's in. That boot's in. That's tight. You guys can already see the difference just from standing back here and how much bigger the intercooler is. You should definitely push some more power now. Probably like went from 300 horsepower to 560 horsepower. Intercooler is on. We were going to test drive it last night, but you know, I was hungry, so we left and got dinner. But now we're going to close the hood, back this thing out of the shop, and see if there's a big power difference with this truck. I know my cabin chassis, I felt a big difference, and this truck has a little bit more power than the cabin chassis. First test drive and the red third gen this time, and hopefully we see a big difference. I know we will, because before this thing had obviously a bent intercooler. It had boost leaks. I'm pretty sure this intercooler had a crack in it too after we looked at it this morning. But his plan is to get this thing to higher horsepower, but we don't want to get into the bottom end of it yet. So whatever we can do with the stock bottom end, we're going to do with this truck. I know it kind of sounds stupid, but we're trying to build a ticking time bomb, meaning that we now have plenty of other vehicles to drive around if something does happen to this. I can hear a difference. You hear it?
Yeah.
Sounds like a jet. I'm like half throttle right now. We're doing 20 miles an hour, obviously, in Mexico. The thing drives so nice for how lifted it is. I'm actually really impressed with this truck. Every time I drive this truck, it reminds me of why I wanted a third gen. Then I get in my cabin chassis, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of boring. It has stock wheels and stock suspension on it. But I am trying to just stay to the point where all I can do to that truck is make it look good and tow amazing. So obviously we're painting that truck the whole nine with it, minus the suspension. The only thing I might do, and I say this now, but it's probably going to change, is a leveling kit on it so I can put a bigger wheel and like a 33 mud tire on it, just so it looks good when that truck is painted. He does want to paint this third gen because obviously we painted the front clip when we did the new fenders, the new bumper, the new grill, and the paint coat on the door did not match the rest of the truck. So unless this truck's been repainted before and it's just not that same exact code, or this paint on the cab and the bed is just that faded to where it didn't match at all. I was spraying it and I was like, you know what? It's red, so it's done. Might as well put the stuff on until we do a complete color change. We actually did just find a complete roller, same exact thing as this truck with all brand new suspension that my buddy actually has out in Goshen, Indiana, I believe. So we have been considering reaching out to him to buy that. That is ultimately my brother's decision if he wants to crack open a project that includes a frame off and powder coating axles. You frame off vehicles, I mean, you could get the frame and everything powder coated for a fairly decent price, but when you start getting into buying all the little parts, that's what adds up to literally the moon. I know when I budgeted my big truck that I built about 2 winters ago, I hit the budget in like the second day. Then there was just no budget on it from there on out. Overall, the truck drives and runs a lot better. So let's talk about this really quick because my brother had texted me the other day, and obviously this was a perfect sport bumper. He said, hey, I was going down a back road, and next thing you know, a deer just spawned in the middle of the road. So I don't know who would put a deer literally in the middle of a road, but the deer kind of caught the corner of his bumper. So now, well, actually, I really can't even tell. But the bumper is cracked from the fog light all the way down into here into like this lower valence piece, or whatever you want to call it. It kind of broke off the mount on the side. Kick that back in. I don't know. It needs a new front bumper. So now we're looking for a sport bumper for a little eye third gen and a sport bumper for a big eye third gen, because that front end on that thing is god awful. And what the? Are you serious? Is that coolant? Dude, I literally cannot catch a break. She's a little hot. Yeah. That's crazy. Should we get a new radiator for it?
Yeah.
Okay. The next video on this truck will probably have a new radiator for it because something is not happy with this one. But besides the point, I don't know why that just happened to this truck. Back to this, he got everything done on the inside like we were saying besides the front seats and the dash. And the next thing he is going to do is get these faceplates powder coated, probably powder coat the coil springs for the time being, and maybe sway bar links. Back here, he already has traction bar mounts on it, and we might just do a traction bar setup on it for now because we were planning on doing a lift like my Mega Cab on this truck, and he's starting not to want that. Right now we have basically stock trucks, regular trucks, big trucks, and monster trucks. And third gens that just don't like their life. He's going to get the TSO tint powder coated. We'll probably powder coat the hitch on it right there. Eventually we'll get into powder coating the axles on this truck. I don't know if we are going to end up getting that roller or not, but ultimately now that the weather's nice out, it is 70 degrees here today in Indiana. I'm in shorts and a hoodie. I'm sure tomorrow will be like 15 degrees outside, which is very unfortunate, but we have a lot of work we want to get done to all of these builds, and now we got to fix that radiator. See, this is why I cannot win with vehicles. I literally just drove it home with the trailer to finish this video, and that one just starts pissing out coolant. It makes no sense, but that is going to end today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your truck, tell your lawnmower, tell your weed whacker that I uploaded, and I will see you guys in the next one.